Hey everybody. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting our request and coming us for sharing Krishna consciousness with all of us. And thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And it's a great pleasure for us to have everybody here. And just few words. Guru Maharaj doesn't need any introduction, but for my purification and our purification, just few words about Maharaj. Maharaj is Srila Prabhupada's disciple, and he has been writing for several years. He has written many books. You can see all the books here, and I would request all of you to please take 5 copies, each one of you, and distribute your friends, and spread this Krishna consciousness to everybody around you, your friends, family, and everybody. And with that, without taking too much time, I would request Maharaj to please share Lord's pastimes with all of us and purify our hearts. Okay. Hare Krishna.
I'll begin by singing the Mangala Charana prayer, so leaving a short kirtan, and then I'll speak from Bhagavad Gita. Oh yeah, I think let's move forward to make more space. Vande Krishna Swami this time founder Acharya Shiva Prabhupada ki jai. I am Vishnupad Paramahansa Project Acharya Stotra Siddhasri. Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavandi ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Thanks to the whole Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopina Sham Kunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Sarveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Shiva Prabhupada. Yeah, a bigger copy of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
You have one? Bigger copy.
Bigger one? Yeah.
So, to read from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Next. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Repeat. Saha Yagya Praja Vishva Pura Uvacha Prajapati Anena Savishyadvam Esha Va Astu Ishta Kamaduk Sahayagya Prajashrisva Urovacha Prajapati Anena Prasavishyadvam Esha Vosvishta Kamaduk Sahayagya Prajashrisva Purovacha Prajapati Anena Prasavishyadvam Ejavos Vishtakamati Saha along with Yagya sacrifice Praja generations Vishva creating Pura anciently Uvacha says Prajapati the Lord of creatures Anena by this Prasavishyadvam become more and more prosperous Esha this Va your Astu let it be Ishta of all desirable things Kamaduk bestowed translation in the beginning of creation the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying be thou happy by this yajna sacrifice because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Please repeat. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna, sacrifice. Because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Report by Srila Prabhupada. Material creation by the Lord of creatures. No, just listen. The material creation by the Lord of creatures, Vishnu, is a chance offered to the conditioned souls to come back home, back to Godhead. All living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of their forgetfulness of their relationship to Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedic principles are to help us understand this eternal relation. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedais Chasar Vair Aham Eva Vedya. The Lord says that the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Him. In the Vedic hymns, it is said, Patim Vishvasamekwaram. Therefore, the Lord of the living entities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, 2:420, Srila Shukadev Goswami describes the Lord as Pati in so many ways. Shriyapatirya Vyapati Prajapatir Diyam Patir Lokapatir Darapati Patir Gatistandaka Vrishni Sattvatam Prasiddham Me Bhagavan Satam Pati. The Prajapati is Lord Vishnu, and he is the Lord of all living creatures, all worlds, and all beauties, and the protector of everyone. The Lord created this material world to enable the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yajnas, sacrifices, for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So that while in the material world, they can live very comfortably without anxiety, and after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. So who wants to live comfortably without any anxiety and then enter into the kingdom of God? This is the process. That is the whole program for the conditioned soul. By performance of yajna, the conditioned souls gradually become Krishna conscious and become godly in all respects. In the age of Kali, the Sankirtan yajna, the chanting of the names of God, is recommended in the Vedic scriptures. And this transcendental system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all men in this age. Sankirtan Yajna and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna, in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya, is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.532 as follows, a special reference to the Sankirtan Yajna. Krishna Varnam Pisa Krishnam Sangopangasta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. In this age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates at performance of Sankirtan Yajna. So this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.532, is very significant. It begins Krishna Varnam. So Varna has two meanings. One is category, like Varna and Ashram. And Varna also means to describe or glorify. So Krishna Varna means he's in the same category as Krishna, which means he is Krishna. And Krishna Varna also means that he's always glorifying Krishna. Then Tvisa Krishna, but his color or his complexion is not Krishna or blackish. Samgopangastra Parshadam, he's accompanied by his associates who are like his weapons for defeating the influence of Kali. Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar. So they perform Sankirtan Yajna. Those who do so, Yajanti Hisumedasa, are highly intelligent. So if anyone accuses you of being unintelligent, you can say, no, I am highly intelligent. It is stated in the Shastra, I'm highly intelligent because I am worshiping Lord Chaitanya by performance of Sankirtan Yajna. As opposed to Sumetasa, which means highly intelligent, there's Alpametasa, which is less intelligent. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that those who worship the demigods are Alpametasa, they are less intelligent. But those who worship Lord Chaitanya by the performance of Sankirtan Yajna are Sumetasa, highly intelligent. In this age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence, who worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtan Yajna. Other yagas prescribed in the Vedic literatures are not easy to perform in this age of Kali. But the Sankirtan Yajna is easy and sublime for all purposes, as recommended in Bhagavad Gita also 9:14. Now I'll read that. Satatam kirtayanto mam jatantas chadvidavritaha namasyantas chamam bhaktya nitya yukta upashite. Translation. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So yes, Satchitam Kirtaya Tama. We find the same thing in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshastra, Kirtanya Sadahari. So Satchitam Kirtaya Tama, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. By Srila Prabhupada. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. The symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he's not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastime. Yes. So Nama is his holy name, Rupa, his form, Guna, his qualities, and Lila, his pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadasi, today. We're describing us. And on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in gaining admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One need not undergo any severe penance and austerity. You can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari. In any position and anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Go back, let's read the verse again. Translation. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna," sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, thank you for listening so patiently and attentively. Now, if any of you have any questions or comments, any reflections you would like to share, you can raise your hand. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. Maharaj, always this question is still last 15 years as I have been introduced to ISKCON. Since then, but till now, that one question is not, I didn't find the satisfactory answer. Spiritually, internally, I know when I speak with the devotees, I get it in that congregation. But always I feel like in Bhagavatam also it is mentioned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he as an incarnation of Krishna. Why many, in fact, majority in Bharat right now, which is Bharat, no one know about that. No one, many of them, even in fact, we have been very devout family right from the childhood, but still no one told us that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is incarnation of the Krishna. Many other states also, whenever I speak to them, now also, they say, no, we don't know who is this. So if the Krishna, if he is an incarnation of Krishna, and everyone know Krishna, everyone believe Krishna, but still no one is considering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a incarnation of Krishna. Sorry for my ignorance and my, but can you please help me with this?
What question? How?
Why it is not known? Is this a Leela? Krishna's Leela, like no one else knows about this other than Gaudiya Sampradaya and many other, very few Vaishnava Sampradayas. No one else knows about that. Why this is, why they don't know?
They don't know because they're ignorant. Maybe we could say we haven't done enough preaching so that more people do know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And yeah, we need to distribute more books. People each feel about that book, so they'll know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Over here, let's go over here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, all the sincere to Lotus feet. Beautiful class, very nice to hear from you. So my question is, I think I'm very fallen, so I don't understand much, but in this verse, Lord says that he sent the generations of men to this world, and then he said, "Be thou happy by this yajna." So, because we are sent by Lord to this world, so why do we have the propensities um, to not be devoted for the yajna, for the devotional service of the Lord? We are more attracted by Maya or the modern day, behaviors. We are more attracted, and it takes a lot of effort from our side to be able to, follow in devotional service. So why do we have a stronger propensities to fall for Maya than be a devotee?
But we're in the kingdom of Maya, and Maya is very strong. As Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Devi Esa Gunamayi Mama Maya Durakaya. This material energy consisting of the three modes of nature is very difficult to overcome. But Ma may be able to take Maya may come to it. One who surrenders to me, one who surrenders to Krishna, and become free from Maya. So Maya is strong, but she's not stronger than Krishna. And if we surrender to Krishna, he will protect us from Maya. But we are in the kingdom of Maya, so we shouldn't be surprised if we're being called by Maya. As Srila Prabhupada said, Maya is always calling us. Come on, enjoy me. Come on, enjoy me. Come on. But if we don't heed the call of Maya, then eventually she'll give up and she'll stop calling.
This is in context of the first question. Thank you so much for your association, for your lessons. Guru Maharaj, does it have anything to do with Lord Chaitanya not being a revealed incarnation versus, I think there is a word called Jhana
Yeah.
avatar?
That's right. Srimad Bhagavatam says Chana Avatar, means he's covered.
That's why most of the India doesn't know. Like, we study about him in history books in middle school, but only as a medieval saint, one amongst many.
Yeah, that's how most people in India regard him. They don't know the actual truth of his incarnation.
Thank you.
Maharaj, we understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation in the age of Kali. And what he gives also is the most powerful way to go back home or to realize oneself from Krishna. So why is it a hidden incarnation? Why is Mahaprabhu's incarnation a hidden incarnation? And what was the need for him?
So he is Krishna, but in the role of a devotee and in the mood of a devotee, specifically Srimati Radharani. And he's hidden because one reason is that if he wasn't hidden, there would be many imitation Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, false Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, it's better that he's hidden, and only the devotees who are receiving knowledge through Prabhupada and understanding the actual identity. Srila Prabhupada gives the example that there was a man who could imitate the barking of dogs. So he would hold programs and people would buy money and buy tickets to hear him imitate the barking of dogs. And the real dogs are on the street barking, but nobody cares for the real dogs barking. They only want to hear the human being imitate the barking of dogs. So they're saying that the real God is there, but some people they don't want it, the real God, they want imitation.
So extension of that question, taking a little bit outer boundary from Mahaprabhu. For example, if now let's talk about Krishna. Krishna is everyone knows he's a god, and now with Prabhupada's mercy, 156 countries, then the Nama Sankirtan and Krishna as a god is being the prasar and prachar has happened and it is spread. But if why in the world and for the human being, this is a trait and trend that in the Middle East part, they don't treat Krishna as a god. If you believe in Krishna, they say, if you don't believe in Allah, you should be beheaded. In the European part or in the Western part, it was said like, if you don't believe in Jesus, you go to hell. So, I mean, openly they say that. But why they are not considering Krishna then as if the Krishna has that power, for example, they will say, we would have known if Krishna is a God. How we should look at that?
Well, again, if they're ignorant, they may not know that Krishna is God, but that's not Krishna's fault, that's their fault. Maybe it's our fault because we haven't distributed enough books, but yeah, it's just their ignorance.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I'll be sensitive at your Lord's feet. I have this question. So somebody who is getting started in devotional service, how do they know that they're making progress? Like, what are the symptoms that they should be looking for? And just adding to that, like when you are chanting, like how do we make sure that our chanting does not become mechanical? Because mind has a tendency just to sway. And sometimes even after like fighting with your mind, trying to bring it back, it just doesn't work. So what should practicing devotee do to make sure that they are on the right path and they can like test and see the results? Yes, it is working for me.
Now, there's a nice verse in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti parachana bhavo vyaktiranyatra. And it gives the example that if someone is hungry and he's eating, he becomes detached from the desire to eat more. He becomes nourished and he becomes satisfied. So these are indications that one is getting the benefit of performing devotional service. Bhakti Parashan Bhavo Virakti Anyatracha. Yeah. as Srila Prabhupada says, if you're hungry and you're eating, you don't need to take a certificate from someone that you're satisfied. You know you're satisfied. And as far as japa, of course, it's good early in the morning during the Brahma Muhurta period, which begins an hour and 32 minutes before sunrise, and chant in front of Tulsi, like Haridas Thakur did. And if you have the opportunity to chant with other devotees who are sincere and serious chanters, and there are many good books to help us with our japa. There's one book called Japa by His Grace Giriraj Das. So reading those books can help. And as Virajan Prabhu says, the mind will always tell us that there are more important things to do than chant Hare Krishna, but we should listen to the mind when it's time to chant the japa. So yeah, those books can help. And there are prayers. Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport that there are prayers that one can offer to the holy name to become free from offenses. And following that purport and the different prayers that are mentioned in the purport, I've compiled all those prayers. And so you can, that will help you be free from offenses. Give me your email address, I can send you those prayers. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, when we talk about, when we are reading through the purport that this yajna is the process of living comfortably in this material world and without anxiety and going back to Godhead after this life. But sometimes this yajna that we are performing, Sankirtan yajna, and I mean, not sure why, but it sometimes becomes a cause of anxiety. And how do we deal with such mindset? How do we purify ourselves from such situations?
Chanting is a cause of anxiety?
It's like when probably there are a lot of clowns. That is one of the examples. But
Yeah. Well, you know, it's good if you can get up and chant as many rounds as possible in the early morning. And yeah, if you're in anxiety about finishing your rounds, that's a good anxiety. But yeah, you should finish your rounds. But if you finish them early, then you won't have that anxiety during the day. Any other questions or comments? Okay, so what's next?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Again, once again, thank you so much for sharing. I think next is video, right? So Guru Maharaj has written several books, as I mentioned in the beginning. So we have a wonderful video about Guru Maharaj's, all the books. So let's enjoy that, and I would again highly encourage everybody to buy as many books as possible and spread this message to entire your family, friends, and all your other family members. So thank you so much.
Right. This is your part of business. Come on, right?
This instruction is given to His Holiness Giriraj Swami by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in 1971 and repeated over the years. In more than 5 decades since, Giriraj Swami has served Srila Prabhupada faithfully and tirelessly, sharing his experiences and realizations with us in his books. Have you ever wondered how service to God relates to service to men? What was Srila Prabhupada's vision that led people around the world to chant Krishna's name?
Watering the seed is an invaluable offering to all aspirants on the path of devotion, with many wonderful personal exchanges between Srila Prabhupada and his dear disciple. Giriraj Swami kindly shares his realizations with the honesty, wisdom, and humility for which he is known and loved. It transports us into Srila Prabhupada's intimate association during some of the most historic moments of ISKCON's development.
Is that in the sky there is one moon and there are millions of stars. But one more respect the whole darkness of the night. Certainly, at least those who are taken to Krishna consciousness, you become, each of you become a moon. And I like to go on.
The great souls described in these pages are bright, full moons of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Their lives are living instructions, their activities chandrikas, cooling, illuminating moonbeams of Vaishnava sharing, teaching, and repossession.
With their unconditional love and dedication to Srila Prabhupada, these personalities built this worldwide movement and gifted it to us to be nurtured by it and to serve.
An exclusive treatise on one's last days of life. That gives readers the resource to face death squarely. And deal successfully with that often fearful and painful, but also saving moment. Down to earth and practical as well as scriptural, both fresh and mature. It draws us in with superb narrative and also answers tough questions about death and dying.
Drawing from both spiritual leaders and experts in the field of hospice and palliative medicine, life's final exam has universal application.
One of the most important books about Srila Prabhupada. It's about Srila Prabhupada and his Leela of years of heartbreak and struggle in Juhu, Mumbai. No one else could write this book like His Holiness Giriraj Swami.
Srila Prabhupada's struggle to establish Hare Krishna land and build a temple for Sri Sri Radha Rasa Bihari in Juhu, on the outskirts of Bombay, was perhaps the greatest effort of his preaching movement. By the strength of his desire, an overgrown plot of land in what had been a remote fishing village, infested with rats, snakes, and mosquitoes, became a place of pilgrimage and devotional service. And after a prolonged and arduous but victorious struggle, when the conveyance was finally signed, he declared, "It was a good fight. Someone should write a book about it."
The temple transports us into one of the great events of our time. It is a story of surrender on the path of pure love, an incomparable story that many have tried to relate, but which no one will ever be able to tell, like His Holiness Giriraj Swami.
From the beginning, Giriraj Swami served the Juhu project in various roles for 30 years and spent years researching, writing, and preparing the book for publication. It is part of ISKCON history, a complement to Srila Prabhupada's Leela.
This book is a page turner to the highest degree. Once you begin, you just can't put it down.
Giriraj Swami has written his fifth book, Dancing White Elephants. Traveling with Srila Prabhupada in India, August 1970 to March 1972. Covering visits to Amritsar, Indore, Surat, Bombay, Calcutta, Allahabad, Gorakhpur, Delhi, Madras, and Mayapur. In some 400 pages of text and 17 images, Dancing White Elephants, with the foreword by Malati Dasi, who was present for most of the adventures, will captivate the minds and hearts of readers and increase their attachment to and love for Srila Prabhupada and his white elephants, his disciples who helped him in his mission.
In Maharaj's carefully chosen words, you will see the exquisite sights and feel like you are living the experiences that were part of establishing the Hare Krishna movement in India. You will meet incredible devotees who became pillars of this movement through their own storied spiritual growth and advancement, and be introduced to seemingly ordinary persons whose lives became transformed by contact with Prabhupada and his dancing white elephants, just as he envisioned.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta.
Hare Krishna, everybody. It's a great fortune that Maharaj is with us today. So whatever copies you are going to buy, Maharaj is going to personally sign all those copies. Just wanted to let everybody know that. So with that, I think we can conclude and can have wonderful prasadam. Ekadashi prasadam is here, so we can have that.
I brought my special book signer.
Hare Guru, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Jai Krishna.
No problem.